Alrighty guys, so this is our Ryco crankcase filter assembly kit, which is just a catch can. So we're going to open it up here and see what you get in the box. Whoa, open it up the right way so nothing falls out. Alrighty guys, so this is what you get in the kit. You get the catch can, has a little bracket on it, so this is what you use to mount it. These 4 bolts here mean that you can rotate it and twist where your out hose goes and where your in hose goes, so you can just clock it to what suits your car. Just remember, this is it's a universal catch can, so it's not suited to one car. It's just, put it on and make it work. In saying that, the bracket is very simple. Basically, it slides up the back there, just like that, and then you can bolt it into something. There's not a whole lot of room in this engine bay here, especially considering that it mounts right around the middle of the catch can, so you have about 4 inches of height above whatever you mount it to. So you got to make sure that you mount it quite low in the engine bay, and also find somewhere where you can mount it. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. I think the best way to do it is to make a custom bracket that we either weld to this or bolt this bracket to our other bracket in order to get it to fit nicely. You want to take the time doing these things so you don't have to do it twice. Here's our drain hose, so simple vinyl hose there. It's got a nice little drain plug. It's like a twist, so you push and twist and it opens it up. So I think this goes on one side of the vinyl hose, and the vinyl hose goes into the bottom of the catch can there, that has one of these little, similar to a radiator drain plug. It's got those little holes there that flow out the middle, so when you tighten it up it's closed, and when you undo it it's open. What else? They've thrown in some zip ties here, just I guess to secure your hoses. You've got some hose clamps here, which actually seem pretty nice. Got a bunch of reducers and 2 bolts to mount the catch can bracket to whatever your body mounting is. For the D22 Navara, you need some 16mm hose, which I was lucky enough to have some in the shed. Otherwise, you'll need to duck down and buy some. So that's your PCV hose size. So what you do is you get these little reducers to go from 1-inch fitting to 16mm, and then you'll have to get your barb, like your male barb, put it in there, and then put your hose on the other side of it, like that. Alrighty, so that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Tomorrow we're going to crack into it. We'll make a custom bracket to adapt this to the car. We'll also find somewhere good to put it. Alrighty guys, so this is the position in the car that I'd like to install the catch can. I think it gives us enough room there to route all our hoses and get to it when we need to drain the oil out of it. So I think if we make up some sort of vertical bracket to accept the catch can universal bracket, I think this position will work great. So we're going to move on to plasma cutting out our bracket. I took some basic measurements from the body of the Navara, just trying to take up any factory bolt holes that are already in the body rather than drilling new bolt holes, and then I transferred those measurements onto just a basic CAD drawing. I made a little bit of a design up with those 2 circles in the center of the bracket there, just to make it look more like a production piece rather than just a random piece of metal that we hacked out. And we added a fold along one side of the bracket to give it a little bit of rigidity and stop the bracket from folding under a little bit of vibration. You can see it's stood up vertically there quite nicely, and here's where those bolt holes poke out on the inside of the wheel arch. This is what the catch can looks like mounted. We want to push it back away from that air intake a little bit, and I'm just going to weld that fold up there and add our little leg there, and this leg is going to give it a bit more stability just under any vibration from the engine, and stop it cracking under stress. So that's what it looks like there. That leg there takes up another factory bolt hole, and we've taken up the factory bolt holes from that body harness there. So we're going to test fit our bracket, and you can see we've gained a little bit more clearance around that air intake, which is great. The bracket fits really nicely, we've added our hose tails there, and this is the direction that we're going to route our hoses. So they go alongside the air box and then they split off. This is so that we can route the hoses correctly without them bending. If you take too sharp of a turn when routing the hoses, you'll kink them. So it's important that you take a nice gentle bend and make it more gradual. And I've added some insulation to those hoses there just to stop any rub throughs, just to avoid breaking the hose. And that zip tie there holds the catch can down to the bracket and stops it from bouncing off, and on the bottom is our drain hose. So that's all you need to do to mount a universal catch can. This is a Ryco kit. I can throw the part number in the description. The part number is RCC351K, and it is a universal kit, and this is basically all you need to do to mount it to a Navara. Otherwise, it'd be very similar to do with any other universal kit. The bracket would be different, but the basic principle would be the same. You take one line from your PCV outlet on the top of the tappet cover, you run it through the filter, and then you have your outline on the filter, and you take that down to the intake, which is usually in front of the turbo. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below and I'll answer them as best I can. Thanks for watching.